Darryl Clark's defence is on point, which it has been this season, and Darryl Clark's confidence is up, he has to be the interchange hooker for England.
Well, I said this a couple of weeks ago. I think he's going to end up beating Hodgson and Clark. I think Roby loses out this year.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, that's the way the world is, isn't it? Time marches on, doesn't it? And if Roby's not playing well, I think Wayne Bennett, out of any coach on the planet, will pick people on merit, not on names.
I don't think Roby's playing badly. I just think you're looking at,
as well as those two.
Yeah, people playing better.
So tell me the story of the game, Mark.
Unsurprisingly, Warrington dominated the stats with almost 400 more metres, a massive 1.8 metres per carry better average gain across the team. They have fewer errors, better team tackle success. Also, the massive number was 15 clean breaks to Leeds' 3.
Yeah.
It just shows how easy they were able to
contain them,
get through the Leeds defensive line. 15 clean breaks.
Yeah.
I think,
and the fact that they limited them to just 3 as well.
Well, yeah, but those 15 clean breaks, you got 3 clean breaks, 3 tries, but the 15 clean breaks, a lot of those were untouched breaks, and that just showed how much they were at it compared to Leeds, who were not, like you say.
Yeah. Individually, then, who stood out for us?
Darryl Clark grabbed 2 tries, 10 tackle busts, 104 metres, 3 clean breaks. Stefan Ratchford had a try assist, 8 tackle busts, 172 metres, 4 clean breaks, 3 successful offloads. So yeah,
playing well.
One match form, he's England's fullback.
Yeah.
Gene Ormsby, 2 tries, 111 metres, 2 clean breaks. He's benefiting from being in this back in this Warrington side. Because he had 2 walk-in tries, didn't he, really? Ryan Atkins with a try and 135 metres.
Okay. Anybody stand out for Leeds?
Well, Brett Ferris grabbed 2 tries, he had 107 metres. Out of dummy half, Robbie Burrow had a try assist and 128 metres. So there you go.
There you go. Okay, so people getting in touch. The Hodge, this is a song, isn't it? Okay, so to the tune of It's Always Our Year, I presume this one is.
Oh, it was. I could hear it being
shit defence. It's our shit defence. Just like the last try, it's our shit defence. There you go. I'm half tempted to get a last-minute ticket to the Summer Bash just so I got a heads up for what it's like next year. It's very good. You should come to the Summer Bash. Elliot Wrench said, I tweeted Tom and said Leeds would have their moment. They did, and it was early on. But Wolves somehow repelled set after set near their line. That was a telling sign. The Rhinos' defence was complete opposite, and the wire ran amok. Back on top, no white flag. BW said that Leeds are rubbish as per. Just a pity we keep having to watch them on bloody TV. Get some other teams on Telly Sky, dearie me. Warrington looked like they did a few weeks back, and Ashton Sims doing what he does best, having fight. Good win for Wire. I think that's strictly fair on Ashton Sims. I think his game has developed a little bit. They were making the point on Sky, and I agree. He's going into contact and he's looking to turn. He's looking to get the ball away a lot more than he did this time last year. I don't think it's necessarily his game is developed. I think he was playing against an uncommitted, soft Leeds middle in this game. He was allowed to turn a little bit.
But yeah, fight. We didn't mention the fight, did we, between Singleton and Sims? That was quite a dust-up. I think Singleton was the instigator, I would argue. Well, he certainly threw the first punch.
Mm-hmm. And that's what matters. In the eyes of the referee, that's what will come to bear on this one, isn't it? So
I do think there could have been 2 red cards rather than just 2 sin binnings on that.
Yeah,
fight. I think there was enough punches thrown. Both players are going to get a 1-match ban. I would guess.
Yeah.
You would think both were going to get grade B charges, so there's no early guilty plea, or Sims maybe has not even got out of his back pocket. Maybe he gets a 1-match ban from a grade A offence either way. But I'm expecting both players to get banned, so I think sendings off wouldn't have been
a miss.
Yeah.
There you go. Tom Eckley99 said, it's always nice to beat Leeds and want the 17 were all great, but Jesus Christ, Leeds were shit tonight. Cutthroat Jake, who's a Leeds fan, got in touch with a 1-word match review. He just said it was crap.
That's beating Diane LDW's 3-word match reviews, isn't it?
That's it. Okay, Alfie Wolf, he got in touch. Said first half was an old school Wire versus Leeds thrilling match. Second half, well, that was simply garbage from Leeds. Goes to show the importance of 2 top class strike half-backs, as Wire are only average when Sandow or Gidlow are missing. Ratchford had a top game and has to be a selection for England as a utility back. Disagree strongly. As for Atkins, smiley face. He does like Ryan Atkins an inordinate amount.
No, I think he just knows that we.
I like Ryan Atkins.
Don't think
the
Ryan
right
Atkins.
amount. I think he's a good rugby league player. I think he's a very strong sense, and he's a good player for Warrington. I don't think he's an England player. That's all. Anymore. Do you disagree? Do you think he's in with an England shout?
The only thing that would say he might be. It might be, is the form of other players and injury contention. Well, I mean, Jack Reed's bound to be injured by then. Let's face it.
Yeah.
Callum Watkins has been terrible.
He has
this year. It's not been below par. He's been terrible.
Yeah.
And then where else are you looking for your centres across the board? Really. Maybe you play Bateman in a centre position like we did last year. He did well there. Maybe you play Curry in a centre position if you want to size up.
Yeah.
And I think both of those players will probably bring more as an overall package in attack and defence than Ryan Atkins would. And now John Bateman's had his teeth done. Neither are as ugly as Ryan Atkins is. So,
which is always important, apparently. Okay,
I'm only joking.
Yeah. Okay. Where are we up to? John Hamilton, is this a crisis yet? Yeah, I would say so. It was a crisis about a month ago, John. Christ, we didn't even win the fighting. Before this shit show, by the way, Watkins was the second highest scoring centre in the Super League Dream Team this season and in the top 13 of all players. Unbelievable. Also, Ashton Sims looks a bit like Amy Schumer.
That's crazy, that Watkins stat, because because to me, every time I've watched him play, but Dream Team doesn't count shooting out of the line so your team concede tries, does it?
Yeah, it doesn't have
count that, innit? No.
It would be nice if they aggregated the points that he cost.
Well, no, they give you, like, obviously they pick up on all the measurable stats, because that's not measurable in terms of the stats. I mean, you could have it, but it's not. It doesn't work, and he does still carry the ball quite a lot. He just doesn't pose a big threat anymore when he does, because there's just as much of a chance of the pass going out of touch or something like that than there is of him scoring a try, it feels like, at the moment.
There you go. And any thoughts on Ashton Sims looking a bit like Amy Schumer? I know which one I'd rather wake up next to.
Yeah, I'm not convinced.
Not a big fan of Amy Schumer's. Okay. Mark Stevo 72.
She's funny, I like her.
I've watched the 12 Angry Men one now, yes I have. I saw it after you recommended it the other week, that is good.
Go on to YouTube, right? Amy Schumer, Milk Lemonade. It's absolutely hilarious.
Really?
It's like a parody of, like Anaconda or something like that.
Oh, right, I see.
It's amazing. It's hilarious.
I'll have a look. Oh, it's like a song, is it?
Yeah.
Fair enough. As long as it doesn't ruin Anaconda for me, I think that's my favourite video of anything ever.
Okay.
Bit of a fan of Nicki Minaj.
It might not ruin it for you, but it's hilarious.
Good stuff. That's okay then. Right. Mark Stevo 72, he's a Leeds fan. It should be the final nail in McDermott's coaching coffin and the final confirmation that Hetherington needs that big changes are needed at Leeds. Complacency has bit us just as hard as bad luck.
There's a rumour going around, isn't there?
David Furner.
Yeah, so we'll see.
Like that? He's your ex-boy.
He went to Leeds after he played at Wigan, though, didn't he? He won their first grand final in 2005 as well, didn't he? As well as within the Challenge Cup it was, did he, in 2002?
Yes, he did. That's the bit I'm up to in John Keir's autobiography. That's why it's fresh in my mind. Why Joe got in touch. The first 5 minutes had me worried that our attitudinal problems, nice work, were still knocking around. But we ended up finding the defensive intensity that we had lost for the last couple of weeks. Ratchford was great at fullback. Sims had his best games in a wire shirt. And Dwyer was outstanding on his return to the side. Yeah, Brad Dwyer is a sensational player. Rich Wilkinson got in touch. He said, Leeds are shit. We can't defend. We can't attack. If we can't attack and we can't defend, we can't win. I like your logic. I'm not sure what brand of magic wand is required to stop Catalan scoring 40 plus on Friday. There you go. So into the weekend proper then, and it was the Steve Prescott derby, wasn't it, over at the KCOM Stadium, and Hull FC were 32 points, 24 winners in the end over the St Helens team.
Yeah, closer than probably would have anticipated on this one, especially as Saints lost Luke Walsh in the second minute, which is annoying. He scored no Dream Team points.
It's alright, it's nearly June the 1st. I've got all my transfers lined up for June the 1st.
I know what I'm up to as well with that.
Is it just everybody waiting to bring Sandow in?
Yeah. The net gain is zero, but you still want to do it, isn't it? Yeah. Anyway, from the highlights I've seen, it does look like Saints' goal line defence isn't what it was in the last few years, and that continues to be a problem as it has done most of the year. I mean, they've conceded over 30 points again in this one. At least it looks like they did okay the other way, and the team selection made more sense than it has done for a while in certain spots, like Jordan Turner playing instead of a kid.
Yeah,
that makes more sense.
Do you think Kieran Cunningham deployed a centre in the centres?
Yeah.
Holy shit! He's been reading that coaching for dummies manual, hasn't he?
But yeah, so that's all my takeaway from what I saw, really.
Yeah. You've seen more than me. I missed out on this one.
Yeah. Hull FC were the winners, but the numbers weren't convincingly in their favour. They had a narrow metre win, and also met by Saints having a big, almost 1 metre per carry average game win over the Hull FC side. 3 more breaks though and 7 more offloads suggest Hull were the better attacking side, although 5 more errors for a big total of 17 handling errors suggests that their execution was a bit off in this game. The biggest difference on the numbers was 12 penalties conceded by Saints and only 2 by Hull.
Individually then, who stood out for us?
Well, Mahe Fanua grabbed a try, had 5 successful offloads in this game. His try was one of those close to the line walking, no-touch efforts. Scott Taylor had a try in 100 metres. Minicello 8 tackle busts. Danny Washbrook a try and a try assist, so scraping around a little bit. Jordan Turner 128 metres for St Helens. Theo Farge had 2 try assists. James Roby contributed 49 tackles, 10 of which were marker tackles.
Okay, so we've got a couple of tweets in on this one. Scoots28 Mac, she said, we could have been out of sight after 20 minutes but tried to force passes and score on every play. Saints exploited our defensively weak right hand side. It's so nice this year that we are managing to close out games whereas previously we would have capitulated. Diane LBW, we get an extra 25% from Diane, or an extra third this week from Diane, as she says Saints are still shit.
Yeah. So
from 3 to 4 words, thank you, Diane. Down in the south of France then on Saturday evening, while we were enjoying the sun on the Costa del Blackpool, it was 34 points to 16 in favour of Catalan Dragons over the Red Robins of Hull KR.
And this game was over at half time, basically. Sounds like it was pretty scrappy. Sounds like a Catalan home game, apart from the opposing team didn't have enough to really make a comeback. From the highlights, it just looked like a Catalan game, to be completely honest. It seemed like we didn't miss much by not watching it, because we've seen it 6 times already this season.
That's what everyone expects to do. Yeah. They underperform slightly at home, but have enough class to get them to the win.
Obviously it's better for Hull KR than the game they played about a month or so ago when they were absolutely taken to the cleaners by the Catalan.
But again, it was over at half time. So.
Yeah. The home side had big wins across the piece on the stats, other than for errors, where Catalan had 11 to Hull KR's 8. 351 more metres at 1.4 metres per carry better average game, produced 9 breaks to 3 and 6 tries to 3. 3 fewer penalties and a 2% better tackle success rounds off things for the Catalans, winning across the board.
There you go. Individually then, who stood out for us?
Tony Gigo, who I would suggest is the highest scoring centre on Super Brew, because he's classed as on the Dream Team, because he's classed as a centre, but playing at full-back and doing a lot. 2 try assists, 9 tackle balls, 179 metres. Jody Broughton, who keeps going well, a try, 158 metres, 2 clean breaks. Julian Bousquet, 138 metres for the big Frenchman there, and Vincent Dupont, 120 metres for him. On the Hull KR side of things, Kenny Seo, a try, 5 tackles, 230 metres.
Wow.
Joe Wardle had a try as well, 105 metres. Ian Thornley got involved with 2 try assists, 5 tackle busts and 120 metres.
Can you recall off the top of your head what Hull KR's total metres were? Did they go under 1,000?
No, they were over 1,000, yeah. Catalans were about 14.
Okay.
So it must have been about 10. It must have been about 10.50.
Fair
11,
enough.
something like that.
Okay. Alan Walker got in touch on this one. He's our resident Catalan dragon. He said seemed scrappy on French radio. First half, only got the video feed for the second half, and that was scrappy too. Maybe because 6 plus 4 players were French, say the haters. Plus points. Lucas Alberg gets the start and does well. Lego Lamb gets 2 tries, so that's cool. Should have killed off KR better and added to our points difference. This year is too tight not to be ruthless. We missed the gift who was at the Summer Bash. I think he means me.
He does mean you, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Can't rave about him now.
It's not like a rugby league podcast to not have someone who looks like the gift presenting it, though, does it?
Well, no, that's true. That's true. I don't look like how I sound, apparently, but we'll get back to that.
We'll get to that
on
later
a couple of occasions.
Lucas Albert He's only like 17 or so, isn't he?
Yeah.
We've said before, we wonder if he's any descendant of the famous, is it Puig Albert?